The magnificent story begins with a girl crying over her torn, stuffed toy. Her mother comments that it won't look nice if they sew it, so she decides to buy her a new toy, and they throw the old one in the trash. At the waste collection site, a guard hears some noise and sees someone going through the trash. He points his gun at him and realizes he may be the elusive trash vandal he's heard about from the reports, who has been jeopardizing the town by moving trash outside. The guard activates the alarm and more show up, calling for his surrender. The vandal then throws bags of trash at them and escapes through a vent. Outside, they continue the chase and open fire, but the vandal manages to dodge all but one bullet which grazes him during his escape. The boy, annoyed, had taken the torn stuffed toy and wants to make it clear he isn't a vandal. In town, a tribefolk man overhears talk about the trash vandal case from the night before, but also gets bad glares due to how unkempt he looks. At the slums, Chiwa faces Rudo and scolds him for collecting trash again. He explains that rich people throw away stuff easily, and some of those things can still be used. Some kids show up who start mocking Rudo for how bad he smells and the dirty ragged gloves he wears. Chiwa still doesn't mind hanging out with Rudo, but they remind her that he is a son of a murderer. Everyone living in the slums is descendant of criminals, but they try their best to clear their names. However, Rudo's parents killed people and ruined everything. Rudo then gets angry and gives them a fierce look, causing the kids to run, but they comment that he will one day too become a murderer. Chiwa encourages Rudo and tells him that he isn't like his parents. She notices the cute stuffed toy that Rudo fixed and compliments him on his work. He states the toy isn't for sale and wishes to give it to Chiwa for free. However, at that moment, her mother shows up and Chiwa leaves. Returning home, the tribefolk man, Regto, mocks him for what he said to Chiwa, but advises him to express himself more clearly. Regto brings up the trash collecting and tells Rudo he should leave the money earning to him. While they are not blood-related, Regto took in Rudo and raised him, so Rudo wanted to give his thanks somehow. Regto then notices Rudo's wound and wishes to patch it up. Regto tells him to stop going to the waste collection site, but Rudo comments his wound is just a scratch and is nothing compared to the scars on his hands left by his parents. Regto warns him that if he commits a serious crime, they will execute him and throw him into the abyss, just like his father. After patching him up and giving his gloves back, Rudo recalls that he always had pitch-black hands and would sometimes feel excruciating pain. People looked at him with disgust due to the scars, but one day Regto gave him those gloves and the pain subdued. Regto tells Rudo to hurry up and give Chiwa the toy. Otherwise, she soon may fall for someone else, causing them to bicker as Rudo feels embarrassed. The next day, Rudo goes to look for Chiwa. He looks at the abyss, a large dark dump site, where all trash eventually gets thrown as well as criminals, making him wonder what is down there. Another man gets thrown into the abyss. Chiwa then appears behind Rudo, commenting that this place has a good view. She talks about how the slums were built next to the abyss, to show the tribe's people that they will be thrown into it if they do something wrong. Chiwa tells Rudo that she doesn't want to see him getting thrown down there, and getting thrown there for collecting trash isn't worth it. Rudo comments that Regto said the same thing, causing Chiwa to state that Regto loves him too. Rudo then realizes she said she loved him, causing both to be embarrassed. Rudo then gives her the toy, making Chiwa happy. Excited, Rudo runs back home to tell Regto, but bumps into a masked man, causing him to drop a book. Before he could say anything, the man picks up the book and runs. As he gets home, he finds Regto lying on the floor with a sword on his chest and starts to panic. Still alive, Regto tells him to run and to change the shitty world. Police then knock down Rudo and arrest him for the murder. Confused by the events taking place, he tries to say it wasn't him and that Regto is still alive, but unfortunately Regto had already died, and the police don't believe Rudo as he is covered in his blood. Rumors of Rudo being a murderer spreads. Rudo is then sentenced to death for scavenging garbage, polluting the streets, and murdering a person. Rudo can't believe this is happening. As he looks into the crowd, he sees Chiwa. She looks disappointed and comments that she trusted him, but in the end, he was truly a son of a murderer and drops the toy he gifted her. As the crowd yells for the filth to be thrown into the abyss, Rudo states they are the filthy ones, with no will of their own and no ability to see or hear the truth. Rudo then sees the masked man from earlier. As he is dropped into the abyss, he yells he will kill them all. Rudo then awakens on a pile of garbage. He looks around and sees a large beast behind him. If you did enjoy the first recap of Gachiakuta, please don't forget to like and comment for more of this so I know to continue the series. Thanks and goodbye for now.